Hi, my name is MGT2023 binti Abdul Hadi.
Hi, my name is Nur Haifa Nabila binti Jahari.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nafizah Najibah binti Muhammad Fauzi. Some people might not know why we need personality and values in ourselves, because our behavior is actually changing each day or week. Why are some people quiet and passive? And why are some other people loud and aggressive? The answer might be lies or whether true, based on the personalities that are affected by various factors that influence the socio-cultural development of an individual, such as values, attitude, personal experience, social relationships, individual habits and skills. Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. For instance, when a worker always comes late for work, his or her manager will try to give meaning to his behavior by stating that he is not a good worker or he cannot discipline himself.
Personality is the sum total of ways in which an individual reacts to and interacts with other people. Furthermore, in this topic, we are going to discuss the concepts and theories of personalities to help us describe an individual's personality. We are also going to have discussion on how personality types match with certain job and occupational environments and how personality determines employee satisfaction and turnover. Personality refers to individual differences in characteristic, patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. The study of personality focuses on two broad areas. One is understanding individual differences in particular personality characteristics, such as sociability or irritability. The other is understanding how the various parts of a person come together as a whole. The right way to describe it as the characteristic sets of behaviors, cognitions, and emotional patterns that evolve from biological and environmental factors. In fact, there is no generally agreed upon definition of personality. Most theories focus on motivation and psychological interactions with the environment one is surrounded by. On the other hand, more behaviorally based approaches define personality through learning and habits. Nevertheless, most theories view personality as relatively stable.
Here's our MBTI result.
I did my MBTI test and my personality always changes. This time around I got the INTJ personality, which is true. So what is INTJ personality like? Well, it's a person who only focuses internally on their many ideas and abstract concepts. But when it comes to looking at themselves and their feelings, they often award their activity the biggest impact that they have, strengths and weaknesses. Whenever I do something, I not only see the plan or course of action, I am already prepared with several backups depending on the various circumstances that could possibly arise. There are also types that are actually quite receptive to and supportive of change and innovation. Plus, I also believe that most people have the potential to be improved upon, and they will seek new and creative ways to try to bring about that change. But I do have my own weakness, which is that I am quiet and shy when approaching someone that I don't quite close with. And as far as I know, INTJs are also known for their low EQ and unwillingness to engage their emotion of their own or others. They struggle to pick up on and respond to emotional cues and needs of others.
I have done the MBTI test and obtained the result, which is ISTP. Therefore, I can find out that my personality is ISTP. However, what is an ISTP personality? ISTP stands for introvert, sensing, thinking, and perceiving. People with ISTP personalities enjoy having time to think alone and are fiercely independent. ISTPs also love action, new experiences, hands-on activities, and the freedom to work at their own pace. People with an ISTP personality are result-oriented. As for me, when there is a problem, I want to quickly understand the underlying cause and implement some type of solution. This is because I don't like the problem to get worse. Moreover, ISTPs are often described as quiet but with an easygoing attitude towards others. Besides, I prefer to make judgment based upon objective criteria rather than personal belief or values. ISTPs are not well attuned to the emotional states of others, and they can sometimes be seen as a big incentive. With that, I always distance myself from my own emotions, ignoring my feelings until they become overwhelming.
I have done MBTI test and proved that I am an ENTP. What is meant by ENTP? People who describe as innovative, clever, and expressive. ENTP are also known for being idea-oriented, which is why this personality type has been described as the innovator, the visionary, and the debater. For me, routines and boredom are not good for the ENTP personality. Plus, they are not conformists and do best in jobs when they can find excitement and express their creative freedom. ENTP can be successful in a wide range of careers as long as they do not feel hemmed in or bored. As debaters with great communication skills, careers in law can offer the challenge and diversity that ENTP crave. In addition, jobs in the business world that combine the ENTP rationality, creativity, and natural leadership abilities can also be very rewarding. At work, the ENTP is concerned with applying innovative solutions to challenging problems to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of systems. With that, I will get bored very quickly when required to repeat a task or attend to details. But I do my best when my work is highly conceptual and allows me to solve problems creatively without having to think through the details. The Big Five model, also known as the five-factor model, is the most widely accepted personality theory held by psychologists today. The model became known as the Big Five and has received much attention. It has been researched across many populations and cultures and continues to be the most widely accepted theory of personality today. Each of the Big Five personality traits represent extremely broad categories which cover many personality-related terms. Each trait encompasses a multitude of other facets. The factors in the Big Five model are extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, emotional stability, and openness to experience. Extroversion divides into two, which are extroverts and introverts. Extroverts are sociable, gregarious, and assertive individuals. Meanwhile, introverts are reserved, timid, and quiet individuals. Next, agreeableness. There are two levels of agreeable, which are high and low. Highly agreeable and people are cooperative, warm, and trusting. Those high in agreeableness can be described as soft-hearted and well-liked. They are sensitive to the needs of others and are helpful and cooperative. People regard them as trustworthy and altruistic. For low agreeable people, they are cold, disagreeable, and antagonistic. Thus, low in agreeableness may be perceived as suspicious, manipulative, and uncooperative. They may be antagonistic when interacting with others, making them less likely to be well-liked and trusted.
Values are important because they help us to grow and develop. They help us to create the future we want to experience. Basically, values do not have a direct impact on behaviors. However, they strongly can influence an individual's attitudes and perception. In an organization, managers are not only looking for candidates who have the ability, experience, and motivation to perform, but they are also looking for candidates whose value system is positive and compatible with the needs of the organization. Every individual and every organization is involved in making hundreds of decisions every day. The decisions we make are a reflection of our values and beliefs, and they are always directed towards a specific purpose. That purpose is the satisfaction of our individual or collective needs. Our values are important because they help us to grow and develop. They help us to create the future we want to experience.
Instrumental value is the value that something has as a means to a desired or valued end. Instrumental value is always derivative on the value of something else, and it is always conditional. The three instrumental values that I possess are responsible, obedient, and helpful. It is important for a student or teenager to have these kinds of values in themselves. As for me, I apply obedient personalities in my daily life. The reason why I state that is because I am a student, so I must obey my teachers and do what they are assigned. Therefore, I am responsible for all the things I do. For example, I am responsible for doing the tasks given from my lecturers. Not only that, but from my point of view as a daughter, I must be responsible towards my parents, like helping them to do chores and giving them good results in examination. Then, I am helpful towards my friends and family members. I am likely to help them in every situation, such as in education, financial, and anything that occurs. Terminal values are the goals that we work towards and view as most desirable. These values are desirable states of existence. They are the goals that we would like to achieve during our lifetime. Three terminal values that I would like to achieve throughout my life are a comfortable life, freedom, and happiness. For someone to achieve a comfortable life is by achieving all their goals, being hardworking, and chasing all their dreams. Next, I want to have a free life in the future so I can make my own choice and be independent. Lastly, I can get my own happiness from my achievements that I struggle with nowadays. So when it happens, I will be satisfied.
The relevant work values that I possess based on my work cohorts in relation to my job performance is next. Plus, I think that students should have confidence in themselves, so it will be easy to do all the tasks given or giving a presentation without feeling embarrassed. I have been practicing this whole thing during my study period so I can gain all the confidence. Not only that, I also use the value of being self-reliant but team-oriented. It's an important value because I can do my own tasks or assignment with my group members without having any misunderstanding within each other. I think it is a must thing that students should know. Lastly, I actually have been loyal to both myself and relationship between each one of my members so that all of our communication goes smoothly and can be delivered and received without any hard feelings. By doing this, we can strengthen our friendship.
Two people can see the same thing but interpret it differently because no one has the same perception as they view or examine things because people may base it from their experiences in life. Different interpretations, thoughts or opinions on things is what we call our perception. The people behavior is based on their perception of what reality is, not on reality itself. The word as it is perceived is the word that is behaviorally important. It is because a lot of people behave and make decisions based on their understanding of their own perceptions. In other words, based on what they see and believe of the truth. There are three factors that influence someone's perception, which are factors in the perceiver, factors in the target, and persevere, perceive, and the factors in the situation. First of all, a perceiver will make a perception based on their attitudes, motive, interest, experience, and expectation. Secondly, the individual perception will be influenced by the target in terms of novelty, motion, sounds, background, proximity, or similarity of the target. Finally, the factors in the situation such as time, work setting, and the social setting will also influence how an individual gives meaning to the environment.
Kelly attribution theory is when individuals observe others' behavior. They attempt to determine whether the behavior is internally coming from within or externally outside forces cause. It is an attribution theory in which people make causal inferences to explain why other people and ourselves behave in a certain way. It is concerned with both social perception and self-perception. It can be made based on three types of interpretation, which are distinctiveness, consensus, and consistency. The first one is distinctiveness. Distinctiveness shows different behaviors of an individual in different situations. There is a low distinctiveness if an individual behaves similarly in all situations, and there exists a high distinctiveness when the person only shows the behavior in particular situation. For example, they only complain about the accounting system in their office and do not complain in restaurant.
The best ever decision that I had ever made was doing the first time I bought my laptop. When I was 17 years old, I remember it clearly when COVID began to strike. All students in Malaysia had to learn online. At first, I was a bit panicked when the government stated that students don't have to take their lessons at school because I don't have my own device to use during that time. So I did a survey about the best laptop for online classes. I had two choices at that time between HP or MacBook Air. If I buy HP, it is actually travel friendly, has easy access to another laptop and the price is affordable. But if I buy MacBook Air, it has Apple protection plan that allow us to have an extra layer of protection in case something goes wrong with my laptop. Not only that, it also extended battery life beyond 6 hours and has a solid-state hard drive that helps keep your laptop running quickly and smoothly. After I searched for all the information, I asked my parents which laptop was the suitable laptop for me that I should buy. Following that, I chose to buy a MacBook Air as it has a lot of benefits, which is the battery, because I am going to use this laptop in the long term. I don't have any regret buying a MacBook as it has been running smoothly for almost a year without having any damage.
For me, the best ever decision that I had ever made in my life was when I decided to pursue my studies in the field of diploma at College Professional Mara. At that time, I was not sure to further my studies either by taking STPM or continuing my studies in the field of diploma. So, I do a lot of researching information as well as asking opinions from some people who can help me to make the best decision. So, firstly, I asked my parents' opinion which one is better for me. They recommended that I take a diploma certificate and accept an offer from Mara because Mara has offered several initiatives including a monthly allowance, and also if I get excellent results, I have the opportunity to further my studies abroad, which is borne by Mara. At first, I wasn't very confident with the proposal, so I asked again the opinions of my friends, and they all thought the same thing as my parents. Hence, I have met with a counselor from my high school and told him about this problem of mine. I asked his opinion, which was better choice for me to make. According to his words, what he could observe from based on my interest and my future, he advised me to choose a diploma and accept an offer from College Professional Mara because of the benefits that can be reaped. After hearing his opinion, I was determined to further my studies at College Professional Mara by taking a diploma certificate in international business. Thus, I am satisfied with the decision I have made as it can save my time in furthering my studies.
The best decision I had made is that I moved from the old school to a new school that was nicer and better than the previous one. The old school known as Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Agama Kuala Abang. This school is a cluster school of excellence, and this school is located far from the city centre, and it is difficult to get transportation to the city centre and so on, such as hospitals and business offices. There are many differences between the old school and the new school known as Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Tengku Intan Zahara that is located in the city centre and not as remote as the previous school. This school is also the same as the previous school, which was a cluster school of excellence. In addition, this new school is closer to my home and make it easier for me to go to school every day. Besides, students of this school are given the option of staying in a dormitory or living outside, and it is very suitable for anyone whose house is quite close to the school and does not need to live in a dormitory. Compared to the old school where all students are required to live in dormitories and there is no exception for anyone. So the new school has more advantages than the old school. Then I think my decision was not wrong at all, and at the same time made it easier for myself and also my parents. Though there has been much debate on this topic, MBTI has been widely criticized to still have a place in some organizations. Individuals base their behavior not on the way their external environment actually is, but rather on what they see or what believe it be. This is what we call perception. However, individuals think and reason before they act. This is why an understanding of how people make decisions can be helpful for explaining and predicting people's behavior. To improve decision making, an individual needs to analyze the situation and adjust decision approach.